Good morning, everyone, and welcome to and welcome to oh my gosh, this morning, and welcome to Invitation to a Conversation. I hope everyone had a blessed week, and I know everyone's turned their clocks up for the spring, but it is not spring weather out there these last couple of days. So thank you for coming on and listening to our conversation this morning. Our conversation this morning is Miss Ann Goldstein. She's the CEO and founder of Via Connects. Good morning, Miss Goldstein. How you
Good
doing?
morning. Good morning. Happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you for accepting my invitation to a conversation.
Thank you for
Um,
inviting me.
your bio was very interesting. Are you a native of France?
Yes. I grew up in France and in a very small village and went to live in Paris when I was about 15, 16, and went to study there, get my master's degree in public communication, and started working in Paris, moved in the US about 20 years ago.
Wow. And so what brought you, so before we get to that, so you did that. What differences and similarities do you find in America from France?
There are a lot of things that are very common between our two cultures. If you'd go to France, you wouldn't find yourself, in a place that would feel very different from the US. But when you start peeling the layers, you realize that there are actually a very main difference between American and French. French do not live a life that is job centric. We love our free time. We love to gather around with families. We have big meals. We can spend 5 hours discussing about topics and subjects of interest. And I found American a bit more individualistic, which is a good thing to some extent because it allows us to develop beautiful careers and support, businesses, and to have a thriving and productive life, which French are kind of, yeah, as long as we have wine, we know.
Okay. You are also, before we get into your main job over here, um,
Mhm.
you are the creative group personnel for H2O. Can you explain that organization and their mission and goal?
Yeah. So H2O Creative Group, we're a small marketing agency, sorry, in downtown, located in downtown Brunswick. And I've been working at H2O since I started 15 years ago. Became a partner in 2016 and the creative director there. So basically, what H2O does is creating some identities for small clients to big clients. We develop their brands. We work on the brand identity and the strategy for those clients. And I'm very privileged to be able to work on assisting those clients to further their position and strategic position in our community.
Okay, very good. And your baby is called, you are the founder and CEO of Via Connects. And reading your bio, your motto is let's celebrate our diversity and curate what brings us together. Can you
Mhm.
explain to us what brings us together that you found out so far in this organization?
Yeah, so I've realized working on Via Connects that our community, very specifically Brunswick, and to be honest, I only have been living in Brunswick. So when I make assumptions about what America is or what Americans are, this is from my southern, perspective. So this is, what I'm saying is not necessarily true in the whole entire U.S. But what I found here in Brunswick is that there is a lot that we have in common. And I know, it doesn't sound obvious, but we actually, although we can be very siloed in our communities, there is a common experience and shared experience that can truly lead to beautiful things. We just need to make it happen. And coming from my background and my personal life, I've never experienced um, truly a community that was that diverse but would not come together. The only time where we as a community truly were able to come together was about 3 years ago. Actually, it was 3 years ago, in February on the 23rd, when Ahmaud Arbery was murdered. And right after that, our community came together in a very strong way. And from a spirituality point of view, from a political point of view, everybody kind of forgot its differences. And as a white community, we were there to support our Black sisters and brothers in their time of grief. And I have found this so powerful. And truthfully, I wanted a community. I would like to live in a community where we can come together and we can share and celebrate our common ground, instead of staying siloed. Those siloed are a great place to grow. So it's great to have your church group, your personal group, your support groups, but it's also there has to be a place where we can all come together, roll up our sleeves, and solve the problems our community is facing.
Is your organization both genders, or is it inclusive to one gender?
Well, that's the reason. So it's a woman-centric organization, but we spell it with an X. So woman is spelled with an X instead of the E. So as a signal or message to our transgender, non-binary, member of this community, that it is absolutely inclusive. And even more than that, I believe that for any group to be successful and supported, we'll need all of the other groups to be supportive. So for women's voice to be heard, we're going to need the men to support our initiatives and to be there. Truthfully, I want, if we're claiming inclusivity, I want everybody to be able to feel welcome in any of the initiatives that we're putting in place. But for and foremost, we need to make sure that, although we strongly believe in inclusivity, we're curating right now initiatives that are targeting women and minorities, if women are not a minority.
Yeah. What is the age demographic? Is there a minimum age?
So, truthfully, we our core target is 30 to 45, 50. It's a woman that is in business, so is working or wants to go back to work. But we're welcoming also younger people, so they're introduced to role models, to people that can inspire them to themselves be successful business people, not necessarily business owners, but people that are successful in business. And so and also we're looking into older demographics so they can mentor those younger generations. The purpose of Via Connects is really to give a voice to women and let them understand that they have a seat at the table, regardless their gender, regardless their color, regardless their background. We all have a seat at the table, because if we don't take that seat at the table, decisions are going to be made that will impact our lives and our communities without us being part of those decision-making places. And
Mhm.
I believe that people that represents us should represent us.
Is there one particular comment or issue or situation that the women across diversity have a commonality in?
Oh,
Mhm.
um, I'm very so. I'm not a expert in that
Right,
area. My, you know, I'm not a scholar in that area.
right.
My whenever whoever I've been speaking with since the beginning of this project, so I'd say about a year ago, is that we all want to better ourselves. So we all inspire and inspire to further our position in our communities. And when I say we as women, and again, this is a very broad,
Mhm.
generic statement, but women when they better themselves and further themselves, they always think about children, if not children because they do not decide to have children or do not want to have children or can't not have children. They always want to further the position of their communities, their families, their group, the people around them.
Mhm. Why did you choose this particular career field, or did it choose you?
Yeah, I think it's just I've started this journey years ago when I pulled myself out of a very working class family that didn't have any inspiration. You don't make noise, you just stay where you are. To someone that actually went to college and got a master, and came into starting a business and being a business owner, and so I've always wanted um, to tackle challenges, but always found that I was not truly supported by my peers, because most of my peers, even in France, for that matters, were male, and so
Mhm.
I had to make a to build a place for myself. So that was that kind of the professional endeavor behind this. But then I started practicing yoga, and I'm a very spiritual person, and that practice of yoga and work and that spirituality, all I felt like it was something that at some point had to come together. And to me, that Via Connects is a way to connect people and communities together. What I say, is that we're not one more organization, because there are a lot of organizations here. We're the
Yes.
one that are going to pool and just make sure that women know that some resources are available to them, that it is possible for them to have a voice in our community, and if they don't feel it right now at this moment, we have tools available to support them into their growth.
Okay. How are these two businesses, H2O and Via Connect, being accepted in Brunswick, Georgia?
Well, H2O Creative Group is a pretty successful business. We're well known. I think our reputation is established for sure. Um, and as far as Via Connects, we're just starting. So in March, 25th, next week, we're going to have our first event. So truthfully, Pamela, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how we'll succeed. And you know what? Um, I I believe from my research and market research that there is a need for this resource center that pulls from all our communities to make sure that we are all supported, and that it is my role as a white woman to make sure that all minorities have a place next to me.
And it's very important where they can have a place where they can be transparent, where they won't be judged by what they say or how they say it. It's just coming flowing from their heart at that time and moment when you all are together. Um, you said you teach yoga. I
Mhm.
I love yoga. Where
Oh.
do you teach? Do you teach it here?
Yes, I
With
do. There is a fitness center on the island called the Club, and they have a fantastic yoga studio. And I'm lucky that I've been teaching there for 6 years now, about 6 years now. And then I also teach downtown Brunswick at Balance Wellness Studio, which is a pretty new place. They've been open for about a bit more than 6 months, and I teach there about 2 to 3 times a week.
Can you tell people where the club is located on the island, and where's the Balance Wellness Studio located?
Right. So the club is right at the entrance on St. Simon's Island, right at the entrance on Demery Road. Um, of course, I forgot the street number, but it's on 2050. I forgot. Um, but it's right on Demery Road at the entrance on St. Simon's. And then Balance Yoga Wellness Studio is located downtown Brunswick on Newcastle Street. And again, the street number escapes my brain, but it's near Subways, across from, I think it was Jesse Penny, across Jesse Penny.
Okay, all right. You say that at times you wander around in your mind in our world, and and what is your observation on common humanity?
Yeah, this comes from a personal. So I'm a graphic designer. Foreign. I mean, that's one of my the thing that really is my passion. Graphic design, just playing with forms and colors and shapes. And I've started a work on exploring through those shapes the differences between all of us, which has helped me to understand um, again our commonality, things that brought us together. So it's very much a work on empathy and compassion. Our common humanity is the idea that we all share bonds as humans. We often forget about that because we're so, because our background, because our identity, because our history, I mean, here. But when you think about it, we're very similar in our basic needs. We all want to be safe and loved and feel secured and at peace and not fear, what's around us. um, and sometimes I mean, working on that graphic design and yoga for that matter helps me to remember those common humanity, by also practicing, that mindfulness, practicing listening to others, meeting with, people that have different background and history, and keeping an open mind. I don't have the solution. I'm just there to, initiate something. And if it doesn't work, maybe it's going to plant the seed somewhere. Um, but staying empathic and open in our conversations, that thing that helps to bridge the gap. And also truthfully, remembering our history, remembering why why we're doing what we're doing,
Mhm.
and why some people do what they're doing, and helping all of us to understand those differences, keeping them in mind. So when we approach very difficult conversation, we approach them from a sense of love and empathy.
Mm, okay. Now you were born in France,
Mhm.
moved to America, I'm sure with your parents and your family. How did you find and how did you get to Brunswick, Georgia?
Well, I actually moved with my husband and my two kids. So my family, yes, we my husband was working at the time on a project on since Sea Island, and was called as a painter to work on that project for 1 year. And at that time I was working in a pretty stressful environment in ad agencies where everybody wants to be better than you, and you really have to fight hard to keep your position. And it gave me a 1 year break to take care of my kids and help them grow. And so we all of us moved here, and it was a very special time. I'm very fortunate that I had this one chance in my life to do this and be there fully for my kids. I've been a working mom for my whole entire life, so that gave me a chance to do this for a year. After a year, the plan was to go back to France, and it's been 20 years. So we've never made it back.
That was cute. You slid that one in there. 20 years.
20
Okay.
years. 20
What's
years.
next for you, Miss Goldstein?
Well, just through this process of Via Connects, I've been introduced to women like you, women in our community that I had never met before. And I'm just so humbled to have that chance to start those discussions. My big goal is to solidify that resource center for women with an X, where all of us feel welcome and empowered and inspired.
Who inspires you?
You sent me that question earlier, and I was thinking of all those women and those big names, and truthfully, the woman that inspires me the most is the hard working single mom who works hard to build a better future for herself and her family. The woman that wakes up every morning and she knows that there is suffering in the world but keeps hope. The woman that eats challenges for breakfast but keeps smiling despite of all those things. And so I think the woman that inspires me is the everyday woman that hasn't had a chance to be celebrated, but sure should be.
Sure should be celebrated.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. What's your favorite scripture, phrase, or testimony?
I would say that there is one thing that we repeat in yoga and that's been helping me through difficult times is every breath is a new beginning, meaning that every second we have a chance to start over, and we're going to make mistakes, and we're going to say the wrong thing, and we're going to try to stay safe and small, but each and every breath, each and every day is a chance to be to better ourselves, to have a chance to just keep growing, keep supporting. And yes, we're going to fail, but you know what? Each breath is a new beginning. It's a new chance. It's a new day.
That sounds nice. That's nice. What is your advice to women finding their voice? There's women who have a voice, but it's only to themselves or only to their friends and not to outside people, like into your organization, or women who don't think they have a voice. So what advice do you have for women who are finding their voice?
So, yeah, because, very often you hear those speakers and they're like, start saying, stand for yourself, advocate, and but it's not easy in some organization, in some communities. This isn't something that we're supposed to do. We're supposed to be humble and just keep it to ourselves. So what I would say to a woman is who really want to find her voice is know that you have that voice somewhere in you. So remember or understand what your why is. What do you do what you do every day? And then really just cultivate that knowledge and cherish and let that knowledge grow within you. So understand what your purpose is. And very slowly, whenever you can, try to find people that can support you. It can be a mentor, it can be a woman that you trust, it can be a man that you trust, it can be a doctor, it can be a spiritual leader. But try to meet with those people and surround yourself with people that are not necessarily in your natural organic reach, so not necessarily your family or your sisters, or but
Mhm.
people that can help you develop that voice, and then try with them. Trust your skills, start talking to those people, explaining what you want to do, and then start flexing those muscles. And as soon as you want to, there is a chance that you will be able to. So you keep planting those seeds and keep, remembering why you're doing this. And at some point, you'll be called into a place where that why just speaks louder than your fears. And
Mm.
you'll understand that it is scary, but you know what? What's the alternative? But again, I'm saying this from a place where I can speak my truth. I don't
Mhm.
have people that are, pushing me down. So I understand that this is not always possible, but very, try to find the people that are going to help you, even just, once a week or something, but try to find those people that will be your ally in growth,
Mm.
your allies in growth.
I feel like I was on a spiritual journey with this conversation, with that voice, and you came out with that normal American voice, but then I heard that France tongue come in.
Can't help it.
That yeah. Well, thank you, Ms. Goldstein. And can you tell everyone once again when your event is, where it is, and what they can
Yes.
expect when they come? Hmm.
Absolutely. So the event is going to take place March 25th, so next Saturday from 9 to 4:30. And the name of the event is VIA, so VIA, I'm sorry, VIA Connects with an S. And you can check it on our website. The website address is viaconnects.org, so .org. And it's $25 at the entrance, but we do have scholarships available. So if you need, some help, we can provide that help also for you to access. And we have about 15 speakers that are absolutely amazing.
Hmm. And where will it be located at?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, it's at the downtown library in Brunswick, Georgia.
All right. Thank
Mhm.
you so very much, Miss Goldstein. Am I pronouncing your last name right? Is it Goldstein or
Well,
Goldstein?
usually I say I'm not gold, I'm just good. So I'm GOODSTEIN.
Thank you for
Thank you
again
so much.
accepting my invitation to a conversation.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
You're welcome, and you continue to have a blessed day.
You
And
too.
my invitation to a conversation community, I'll see you next time and soon. And you continue to have a blessed weekend. Stay warm. Bye
Thank you
bye.
so much, Pamela. Thank you.